Hello, this is Soundout here, back with another Kamen Rider Gaim review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Kamen Rider Gaim Arms Change Series 08 Kamen Rider Shin Zangetsu Melon Energy Arms. You are currently watching the standard YouTube version of this review, but if you'd like to watch this review with a little bit more flair, check the first link below to go to Herotaku.com to watch the enhanced version. Without further ado, let's take a look at Shin Zangetsu. Alright, so here we have Shin Zangetsu in his pre-armed state. Now this is, of course, the upgraded form of Kamen Rider Zangetsu that was appeared later in the series when he came into possession of a Genesis driver provided by Professor Ryoma Sengoku. And with the Genesis driver, he has exponential power, and has seemingly left his Sengoku driver behind for the time being. Now, before we get to the actual figure itself, take a quick look at the packaging. It comes in a standard-sized arms change packaging. It is number 08 in the series. You can see his, the half silhouette part that would complete with the figure. You got a nice pose of him on the side, both sides actually. On the bottom, you got an image of Shin Zangetsu from the series itself. On the top is the arms change transformation, and on the back you have several poses of Shin Zangetsu, and showings Arms Change Series 07 Gridon, which I've reviewed, 9 Kurokage, which I'll review next, and 10 Kamen Rider Gaim Jinba Lemon Arms, which I'll review shortly, shortly in the future, as I should be receiving him soon. So here is. So that's the packaging. It's a different kind of color for the Energy Rider. It's a gray background, which I think is really cool. So moving along, we'll bring Shin Zangetsu back into the foreground here. And let's take a look. So first off, let's pull the arms out of the way and take a look at just the base figure. Now, there are several differences compared to original Zangetsu. First off is the new Genesis driver. Now, unfortunately, because of the energy lock seeds being specific shapes that open up in order to look unique for the 4 of them, it's going to be stuck with, it's going to look like the Melon energy lock seed, and there's no way to get around that. Also, as far as we know, Sengoku driver lock seeds aren't compatible with Genesis driver, or the Genesis driver. So, we'll see if any of that comes from the series, but for now, it kind of ruins the ambiguous lock seed effect that the other figures had. But he has that same pearlescent white. He's got this added black on the inside of his arms here. And you can also see that the belt is now silver instead of that really bright greenish yellow. But all the other paint apps are still there on his arms and legs. His head is remolded slightly to include this bits on the side, and has a new forehead crest. So it looks really nice overall. For comparison, I'll bring in the original Zangetsu Sengoku driver body. You can notice the head on this one makes him look a little bit taller, but you can see how they basically filled in the black detail on his legs here. They remolded part of the chest so that there is some kind of distinction for where the black should go, and the head is completely different. It follows the same design scheme of crazy, evil-looking eyes, giant head crest, but this has got a lot more detail to it. So really cool overall. The lower legs and the arms and the lower arms are pretty much the same, but everything else is different. So it is a significant difference from normal Zangetsu. So moving that aside, I will also pull him aside, let's take a look at the Melon Energy Arms. So you can see the Melon Energy Arms looks very similar to the Melon Arms, which you can see here. But there are a few differences, namely the presence of orange. This goes into the overall design. We also have Zangetsu's logo on here. But you can see that the logo is present. There's these orange bits to it. It looks about the same though, which works very well. Little top pieces are almost identical, but the back pieces are different for the design. But overall, they're very similar, but highly different. So let's bring back in Shin Zangetsu. And now we have probably one of the coolest and most unique arms changes to date, and that is Melon Energy Arms. So slide this down over his head. Lining it up can be a bit tricky with all the stuff on the sides of Zangetsu's head, but once you get it in place, it works very well. You click them down. First you bring down the chest piece, which, well, that works just like Melon Arms. You bring down the back piece, which works just like Melon Arms, but then you have this, which folds, and makes one shoulder pad. And now we have Shin Zangetsu Melon Energy Arms. The Energy Riders are really cool in the fact that they go for the archer design, and typical archers will have a shoulder pad to cover the arm that isn't carrying the bow. And so, for that, they've replicated that really well. What's impressive is that most of the armored riders that use just the standard Sengoku drivers have a simple transformation of you have a chest piece and two shoulder pads, and nothing more complicated than that. But this has an interesting, intricate transformation, and that goes for the same for the other three Energy Riders, which are all getting figures between the Premium Bandai and retail lines. So if you bring in regular Melon Arms Zangetsu, you can see that it's quite a difference. The arms is completely different. It follows the Melon design scheme of green, but that orange shoulder pad, which nicely continues into the chest, makes it really unique and awesome looking. But enough of that. Let's take a look. What's a neat little design element to all of the Energy Riders is that they have this continuing line from their helmet into their back piece. Now this piece, of course, is the piece that is removed, and you can see that it lines up there. It makes the Energy Riders, I feel like those armors that the arms change that they're wearing are the ones that they are supposed to have. The design scheme works very well. It'll be interesting once we get Kamen Rider Duke in May to see if how well that transition will work with this line having another Energy Arms. But really cool. You can see the shoulder pad here does have movement, but it is a complicated little masterpiece here. It's great. Now the only issue I have is that the chest piece doesn't quite lock in like I think it should. I think it's supposed to stay in a bit better, but just not locked in. But really cool. I love how it's a clean, sparkly type paint on here as opposed to any molded detail, because it's supposed to be the Soda Energy arms. But that being said, he does have a brand new weapon, one that we'll see a total of 5 times, and that is the Sonic Arrow, used by all the Energy Riders and Kamen Rider Gaim's Jinba Lemon Arms. As you can see here, it has a place where the lock seed could go. The arrow tip here, you got the actual bow string type piece. You got a little groove here, which we'll go into next, but really cool overall. Also, you can extend the bow. They did engineer it so that you can extend it to have energy arrow firing poses, which is really cool. But there is a feature that hasn't been displayed in the show, and is the first time we've ever seen this. You can actually store the weapon on the arms. Back here there's a set of grooves, and there's that little slot, and while I'm not exactly sure how it entirely works, it just kind of clips in here. A little awkwardly, admittedly, but you can get him to carry his bow on his back, which is really cool. It's something that we haven't seen displayed in the series, but it's a neat little feature. Whether or not the other 3 Energy Riders will be able to do this, we have not seen yet, but the fact that he can carry his own weapon without having to, carry it and attach this to the arms is really cool. Nice little feature. Now, having him hold the Sonic Arrow is simple enough. You can get him to hold it just gripping it, but he does have a bit of an issue. It is a little wide. But you can see here that, well, he holds the Sonic Arrow as a slashing pose, which works very well for what it is. But what I prefer to have him as, because he is an archer style, giving him the Sonic Arrow and posing him like he's shooting it. Also, his helmet piece doesn't stay in on mine, and we do have a couple loose joint issues on this one. But that seems to be a problem only I'm having. But as you can see, posing him can be a bit difficult for this kind of pose, but once you get it all lined up, it looks pretty good considering the articulation hindrances and the Shochaku Henshin style hands. It works very well, and I like it a lot. It doesn't work perfectly, as his fingers would need to split kind of like this to grip it, as he does in the show, and so you end up using half a hand to grip it, but overall, doesn't look too bad at all, and I'm really, really impressed with it. Now, that being said, being the first Energy Rider, it kind of sets up a precedent of, will the other Energy Riders be this good? And I'm pretty sure they will. Overall, he's a fantastic figure on his own. Probably one of the best in the series, I'd say. And really holds up very well. Has realistic looking poses with the bow. And I'm really glad that they engineered it so that I could open and pose it like this, where he's about to shoot you. Overall, really, really cool. Now, there are a couple things I want to do before we head to a arms change montage. And that is, I want to show off Shin Zangetsu with some other arms. So here we have normal Zangetsu with the Melon Energy arms, and Shin Zangetsu with the Melon arms. Overall, not too different. The heads are really what makes it different, and normal Zangetsu having a Muso Saber in addition to the Sonic Arrow is really cool. But overall, swapping the arms doesn't do too much, but it is neat, and I think it's a fun little feature. Now, there is one other arms change I want to show off, and that is Zangetsu's Forze arms. While it looked really good on normal Zangetsu, it looks even better on Shin Zangetsu. So here we are with Shin Zangetsu and the Forze arms, which I'm doing the transformation because it's fun. But as you can see, the added black to Shin Zangetsu's body really meshes well with the Forze arms and its black and white design, plus the orange, which is on Forze's chest and eyes, matches the orange on the Genesis driver. I dare say that I'm sad that normal Zangetsu was the one that gets the Forze arms now, because Shin Zangetsu looks so much better and more consistent with the Forze arms than regular Zangetsu did. And honestly, I think that this is really cool, and it's a display option that I display multiple times on my display shelf. So yeah, Shin Zangetsu Forze arms. It's awesome. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the arms change montage. Soda, orangey arms. Soda, banana arms. Soda, Budo arms. Soda, dongari arms. Soda, mango arms. Soda, kiwi arms. Soda, double arms. Soda, Ozu arms. Soda, wizard arms. Suya, Melon Energy arms. Come on, Melon Energy arms. Hi, Melon Energy arms. Come on, Melon Energy arms. So overall, Kamen Rider Gaim Arms Change Series AC08 Kamen Rider Shin Zangetsu Melon Energy Arms is a fantastic figure and really deserves to be in any arms change collection. I will say that as of right now in the series, this version of Zangetsu has been used more than the first Zangetsu AC05, and I would highly recommend getting this one over that other one. And really, this is an overall better figure. The arms change is cleaner, and it's really freaking unique. So, stay tuned for more, as next up will be Kamen Rider Gaim Arms Change Series 09, Kamen Rider Kurokage, Matsubrokuri Arms, and Lock Vehicle 04 Tulip Hopper. And in the future, Kamen Rider Gaim Arms Change Series AC010, AC10, not 010, Kamen Rider Gaim Jinba Lemon Arms. So stay tuned for that. Check out Herotaku.com for all your Kamen Rider Gaim news. Discuss Kamen Rider Gaim on the Herotaku.com forums at Herotaku.com/forums. And check out Kamen Rider Gaim music and podcasts on Ragio Nihon. So stay tuned for more reviews, and tell us the sound saying goodbye.